Yo, what's good? One of the Uzi twins, aka Gabe. I'm gonna be making another video on Sprint Strafe. I know we made a video on it in the past, but I think it's gotten a little bit more advanced, and I think I can show you guys. Well, I know I can show you guys a better way of doing it. I'm making this video because I just I like the mechanics of things. I've always been drawn to mechanics when it comes to like video games and stuff. So I played Fortnite. I like Gears of War. I play fighting games. I play Brawlhalla, Guilty Gear, you name it. So yeah, we'll get straight into it. All right. So how people normally like do the sprint strafe? It's cool and all, but it doesn't really like if someone's just left stick shooting you, it doesn't really, you're not really throwing off the opponent. You're just making it look visually difficult to shoot you, which, you know, at a high level, it's not always enough to just make it look a certain way. But people will normally do the sprint strafe like where they just do this little feint, right? But like this feint like doesn't really take you anywhere. You know what I mean? This doesn't really take you anywhere. The new way I've been doing the sprint strafe is there's this technique where if you shoot or if you hold the right trigger, you cannot run. So right now I'm holding right trigger and I'm pressing my run button and I cannot go. But as soon as I release, I can run. And so you can apply this concept to the sprint strafe. And that's kind of like how I've been doing it lately. Instead of like just showing the sprint, I don't think it's enough. And so the way you'd practice this is you go in third person. And I want you to just practice getting comfortable with running and shooting. You should be able to full auto with a sprint in between. It'd look something like this. With all that in mind, we haven't actually, you know, put the sprint in yet. So before we talk about that, the sprint strafe is way more effective in a certain range. Like you're not gonna be at this distance shooting somebody and doing the sprint strafe. It just doesn't make sense to do that. And you're not going to be doing the sprint strafe this close, because if I get even a little bit closer, I just, you know, the other guy's going for melee trades. So we don't want that. So this is kind of like the sweet spot of where you want to do it. Like there's a sweet spot where you want to be hitting that sprint strafe. The next thing I want you to work on is moving both your joysticks left and right to compensate for that extra exaggerated movement for the sprint strafe. So like, should be shooting bots like this. And I'm playing 7.5, 7.5. So most people play a higher sense than that. So you should find this a little easier or harder depending on, you know, how you play. But yeah, get comfortable doing this. This is like the bulk of the sprint strafe. Once you're fiving bots like this, like you're gonna be in tip-top shape for when you actually put the strafe in. And when you put the strafe in, it should look something like this. See what I mean? You want to be taking that distance and not just staying in the same place when you're doing the sprint strafe. All right, in this next segment, I'm gonna put clips after this recording so that you guys can see what it would look like from the other perspective when I actually do it in game.
Oh my gosh. Nah. I ain't gonna lie, Blade.
One dice weak, dice one. Yes, time it. I'm down to kill dice.
Look at top mid. It might be
Camo,
better.
camo. Yo,
Key,
I'm blocking B. Box. Yep. Oh my god, they're on me. Bottom dam one. Oh my god, hoaxer. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You need to just left aim you at that one, bro. Just left stick.